I'm Ashleigh Darrach with iHeartRadio, joined by the one and only Nita Strauss. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat today.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. I wanted to start out by congratulating you on your success on Dead Inside. How did it feel when you woke up that morning to find out that you were the first female solo artist to get a #1 on rock radio? I was so stoked for you when I saw that.
Even hearing you say those words right now it's so surreal because, for so many years I was only doing instrumental music and I only ever really planned to do instrumental guitar music. And then to sort of make that decision to go down a new path and go to radio, and not only go to radio, but like then get in the top 10 was crazy, and then get in the top 5 was crazy. And then to get #1 and hold #1 for 3 weeks was like just mind blowing. I'm still in awe that it happened. And the important thing is that this isn't something that artists do on our own. If we could just do it by ourselves, everybody would be doing it. But it's because of the support from radio and support of the fans that we're able to achieve cool stuff like that.
And how has the reaction been from your fans?
It's been amazing. It's exciting because I think a lot of my fans are not necessarily the typical instrumental guitar fans. They're rock fans that happen to like the way that I play guitar. So I think people were excited to get a song that's a little more accessible, something that's not just shred all the time, but something that, you can listen to, alongside other kind of active rock songs.
And what was the thought process with going with David Draiman as the vocalist on the song? That collaboration, it surprised me, but it was so cool to see.
Is the collab the world did not expect?
Totally.
We were in the studio writing the upcoming record, and there were some songs for guest vocalists that we were just like, really had somebody in mind, and like this is our goal, and this is somebody that we're going to go after for the song. And Dead Inside actually wasn't one of those songs. Dead Inside was just like, hey, let's just write something just to write it. And as we were listening back to what we came up with in the studio, my boyfriend Josh was the first one to say, like, you've got to get this to David Draiman. This is a David Draiman song. And sure enough, it was right in his range. It was right in like his power vocal range.
Wheelhouse, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And he just came up with this incredible catchy melody and topic. And I think that became the perfect storm to be as successful as the song was.
Totally. Now, I know that you and your boyfriend have very opposing schedules at times. How cool is it to record this track with him and to be working with him in this process too?
Oh, it's great. It's fun doing the solo stuff because we have a great working relationship. He's my drummer, he's my manager. So we're on the road together now. So that's the cool thing about being a solo artist, is you can really kind of set who you surround yourself with as best you can. So my boyfriend is my drummer, my best friend is my keyboard player. We just have a really, really fun band and crew out here on my tour, and we're having a great time.
I feel like that helps make it a lot more genuine too, and it shows. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I think whether it's studio musicians or people that you know personally, you have to work with people that get you and get your vision. And my best friend and my boyfriend have played on every single solo piece of music that I've ever released. So I feel like my sound is not only my sound, like my sound is the way it is because it includes them, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it does. The last year, I feel like you've really just blown up and gone to a whole other level. Like this past couple of years through the pandemic and all this newfound success for you, how has that felt?
Yeah, playing this season with the Rams was incredible. We've been doing this since the team moved to SoFi. I've been the in-house guitar player for the Rams, so it's been really, really exciting to be a part of this Super Bowl run with them. Even though I did not get to be at the big game, like I was there at every single other home game, and it was just an honor, performing at NXT and NASCAR and NFL games and Alice concerts and my solo concerts. It's just been, especially since the return to touring, return to live music, it's just been a whirlwind, and it's just good to be back.
Absolutely. That's something that we've all been missing. It's been such a drought over the last couple of years of live music. How stoked are you to be back on the road?
So happy. I mean, and anybody that doesn't believe me just has to take a look at my schedule. I think I'm going to be home like a grand total of 13 days from January until August. Like, it's insane. I go from every single tour straight to the next tour. The longest break I have between tours is 4 days.
Do you get homesick in that type of situation?
I do, yeah. Especially lately because the solo stuff has been taking up much more of my time than it usually does, which is great. we don't have to do this. You know, I don't have to book tours in between all my Alice tours. I could easily just keep my day job and fulfill my obligations and do that. But I tour because I love it. I tour because I want to, you know. So I had 3 weeks between the last Alice tour and the upcoming one that starts next week. And I went straight into this tour. I'll get home from this tour on Friday. I start back out with Alice on Monday. You know, it's just good to be back. I can't say it enough times. It's just really good to be back.
I wanted to touch on Women's History Month a little bit, especially today being International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day. I saw an Instagram post of yours where it was you and a little girl, and you guys had swapped guitars. You had her little ukulele, and she had your massive axe in her hands. What would you say to a younger girl that might look up to you and say, I want to be like Nita one day, about learning to play the guitar? What would you give to them in terms of advice?
It's so funny that you say that right now, because just as I was walking into the bus right now from soundcheck, there was a little girl waiting outside the bus, you know, 6 or 7 years old, and she was too shy to even talk. And, you know, her mom said, well, she's been playing guitar for a year, and, you know, she wanted to meet you. And she goes, you know, what do you want to say to Nita? And the girl, she just looked at me like this. She's like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And I was like, you know, I had to like compose myself and come in here to come and talk to you guys. Like, and the best piece of advice, not that she asked me for this one, but the best piece of advice that I can ever give and always give, especially to young females in this industry, is just to be yourself. And it sounds like a bit of a played out piece of advice, but I think as women in the music industry, it goes a bit deeper than for most people, because you're always being pushed and pulled in one direction or another. And there is these pressures from all different sides of our industry and from fans saying, you know, you should act this way, you should dress this way, you should dress more sexy, you should dress less sexy, you should sing, you should act, you should model, you should this, you should that. Like, you know, play here, don't play there, perform like this, don't perform like that. You move your hair, you whip your hair around on stage too much, you don't move enough on stage. Like, there's no right way or wrong way to create our art and do what we do. So the most important thing is just do it how you do it. Express yourself in your own individual way and sort of shut all of that out. Because I was a victim of that for a very, very long time, of trying to conform to some idea of what I was supposed to be as a female guitar player. You know, you have to dress sexy, you have to show off what you got, and that's how you get attention. Then you start getting that kind of attention, you realize, oh, that's not what I want at all. You know, yeah. And I would be the opposite way, and I would wear, like, you know, a men's t-shirt and baggy cargo shorts on stage, and, you know, no makeup, and just like I'm just only going to be taken seriously as a guitar player, and I don't want to be even looked at as a female. And that wasn't me either. So just finding that balance, finding who you are, finding what you are about as an artist, and bringing that to the world is the most valuable thing that you can do as a female in music and as anybody in music, I think.
Absolutely. I would say you're an inspiration not only to the young girls we talked about, but to women in general. I saw you once with Alice Cooper, and the best word I would use to describe you was just powerful. Like, I was looking at you, I was just blown away. What makes you feel the most powerful on stage?
You know, it's funny. On stage, it's almost like an out-of-body experience, if that makes sense. Like, in my regular life, I'm pretty shy, you know, which most people are surprised about. Like, I'm not the most social. I don't have a huge circle of friends, or find it the easiest to go out and like meet new people and talk to people and stuff. But on stage, once I have my guitar in my hands, it's like a secret weapon. You know, it's like that's where your confidence comes out. And I feel like I can almost like step into a character of like this super confident, super over the top, you know, exuberant personality that like I do have inside me, and it's not my day-to-day life. So yeah, I feel like having an instrument on stage is really like a superpower.
That's a great answer for that. I love that. So what is next for you in terms of your solo career, stuff with Alice? What is coming down the pipeline for Nita?
So I'll finish this tour. We started this tour that I'm on now, the Winter Wasteland solo tour, November 10th of last year. We will finish it March 10th of this year in 3 days. So it's been a massive tour, 52 shows on this tour. We'll finish this up. I will go out and do 6 weeks with Alice. After that, we're going to go out with Buck Cherry, which is really fun, really exciting. Cool. We are coming up to Canada. Let's just like fingers crossed that all goes well and safe, and we can get in this time and things go well, because it's been a few years since we've gotten a chance to come up and play in Canada. After that, I'm so excited to go out on my first support tour as a solo artist. My solo band is going to be going out with Black Label Society, supporting them in the States. And then after that, I'll go to Europe with Alice and do festival season with Alice over there. And the new record, there's so many things. The new record will be out this year. The next single is coming up soon. And I'm really, really excited to unleash that on the world as well, because it's, I'm really, really immensely proud of how these songs came out. So you guys heard Dead Inside. I'm excited to show you more.
So is there going to be more collaborations? Is it you solo? What can we expect? I'm super excited to hear them.
Yeah, it's going to be half and half. So my first album was all instrumental. This second one, I didn't want to stray completely from my roots as an instrumental guitar player. So there will definitely be what you guys expect from me, you know, like a lot of the fun instrumental guitar stuff. But there are some collabs as well. Some of my very favorite singers are on this record with me. And I have incredible female vocalists, I have incredible male vocalists, and it's just an exciting time. It's just an exciting time to be out there and collaborate with different artists, because all these different artists are wanting to work. Everybody had so much creativity to express over the last year and a half, so we got a lot of cool stuff coming.
That is so exciting, and I absolutely cannot wait to hear the next couple things. I have two.
My dog has been wanting attention this whole time.
Aw, what's his name or her name?
Her name is Bentley. This is my little old lady over here, and then my other dog Motley's sleeping over there. But she's been like pawing at me this whole time, so I'm gonna let you come up, give you a couple minutes.
Or star of the show here.
Oh yes, always.
Do you have a cat as well?
I do, yeah. So I have two little rescue dogs and a little rescue kitten. Our cat Pantera is at home. I feel like she wouldn't do as well on a tour bus, but the girls are great on the tour bus.
I was actually going to ask you, I'm assuming you named it after Pantera. Is Dimebag a big influence for you?
Yeah, big influence for sure. And then also our cat looks like a little panther. Like she's a black cat, and like especially when she was a little baby, she looked exactly like a little panther kitten. And then Pantera being panther in Spanish, it's kind of like a little double meaning for us.
Very cool. I was wondering what the sort of correlation was there, if it was like influences of music, but I didn't know that. That's really cool.
Oh yeah, it's like, of course, like Pantera is a huge influence of both me and Josh, you know, so it's a good little double meaning.
Absolutely. And this is probably the last question I got for you, and this is totally a personal one, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
if Guitar Hero ever does a reboot and they approached you to be a character, are you in?
Hell yeah, absolutely. I would love that. I dressed up as the Guitar Hero girl one Halloween, actually. Like they had the
awesome.
one female, like the blonde female character in Guitar Hero. So yeah, absolutely. Listen, anything that gets the next generation excited about guitar and guitar playing, I'm in. Like whether it's a video game, whether it's a soundtrack, whether it's a movie, whether it's a TV series or whatever it is, like I feel like my next mission in this is to elevate and inspire new people to pick up the guitar and want to play it. And if it gets people playing a guitar and off their phones or, you know, off the Switch or whatever, I'm all about it. Let's do it.
That's something I've started to notice too, is just almost like a resurgence of younger people getting more into rock and roll. And it's so exciting to see.
Absolutely. It's really, really exciting. It's exciting to be a tiny part of, and exciting to watch it happening for sure.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Seriously, it's been such a pleasure, and I hope to see you very soon here in Canada.